This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First off tonight, Bangor police have arrested a man in connection with an incident on Valley Avenue this morning involving a firearm.
Bangor police say around 9 o'clock this morning, officers responded to a report of a man brandishing a firearm and threatening people at the homeless encampment on Valley Avenue. They say based on the description and other information gathered, they believed the person with the firearm was 37-year-old Trevor James Lyons of Bangor. Officers had failed to locate Lyons at his Bangor residence in a previous attempt to arrest him on outstanding warrants. They say they believed he was hiding out in various places around the city to evade arrest, including homeless encampments. Bangor police say officers entered the encampment and found Lyons attempting to hide behind a tree on a hill behind the encampment. There was a brief standoff, then officers attempted to take him into custody. Lyons resisted and an officer was injured during the struggle. Lyons was arrested, and a Bangor police canine located the firearm believed to be the one brandished. Lyons has been booked into the Penobscot County Jail on 4 outstanding warrants for his arrest, with additional charges pending.
A rally in support of the lobster industry was held this afternoon. Our Matthew Jurancic was there and tells us more.
I'm here at the Don't Tread on Maine Lobster Rally, where behind me, hundreds of lobster men and women came out to support the fight being put on the lobster industry. Lobster men and women from across the state traveled to DeMillo's on the Water Wednesday afternoon. They are pushing for the state to file a lawsuit against Monterey Bay Aquarium, who recently red-listed Maine lobsters.
We need the state of Maine to step up and be plaintiffs and step up to defend us. Coming to our defense as interveners just isn't enough right now.
Members of the lobster community made themselves known with the posters and attire they wore throughout the rally. Deer Isle lobsterman Dwight Staples says this is the kind of support they needed.
It just excites me to see so many people coming out in support of the fishing industry because it means so much to Maine. It's a way of life. It's part of the coastal communities, and to have it under attack is something we're going to defend.
Members of the lobster community spoke out, saying Maine congressional leaders need to do more.
Governor Mills, you should be ashamed of yourself. Any congressional leader that is taking campaign money for these donors should give it back. They are essentially buying you to push their agenda. That is not your job. Your job is to hear the Maine people.
Congressman Jared Golden and former Congressman Bruce Poliquin were among the attendees at the rally. Deer Isle lobsterwoman Virginia Olson hopes this rally will get the attention of state leaders.
The importance of this rally is asking everyone to action. That action item is to go on to don'ttreadonmainelobster.com, send a quick note to Aaron Fry to say, please step up and make that motion. Go and file legal action on behalf of the Maine lobstermen and step up as plaintiffs and stand up for Maine.
Matthew Jurancic, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Well, a well-known businessman and promoter of country music in Maine has died. If you are of a certain age, you will remember Richard Dick Stacy and Dick Stacy's Country Jamboree that ran on WVII during the 1970s and 80s. It was a country talent show that aired on Saturday evenings, and Stacy's promoting skills gave countless local and national artists a stage to perform on. He is also remembered for his colorful commercials promoting the gas station he owned. Dick Stacy was inducted into the Maine Country Music Hall of Fame in 2021. He passed away on Monday, surrounded by his wife and family. Dick Stacy was 85.
A Canadian business is acquiring its second Bangor area transportation company. A statement from the firm says Bison Transport will acquire 100% of the issued and outstanding shares of Pottles Transportation effective October 31st. Pottles is headquartered in Herman. The second-generation company has more than 200 tractors and 750 trailers. Bison Transportation acquired Hart Transportation at the end of last year, ending 73 years of local ownership. Bison's president and CEO, Rob Penner, said, quote, "We're excited about the next step in our U.S. growth. The investment in Pottles punctuates our commitment to the region and the customers and the great people we have in our business. We look forward to connecting our most recent acquisition of Hart Transportation with Pottles as we continue to build Bison Transport USA, end quote.
Well, 2 of the 3 candidates running for governor presented their views on a wide range of topics. The forum was held at Thomas College as part of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce Breakfast Series. One issue discussed was that Maine businesses are unable to find enough workers or enough skilled employees. Independent Sam Hunkler and Republican Paul LePage were asked how they would address that problem.
We need to keep our young here, and we need to stop the brain drain that goes on here, which means that we do need to create jobs, and we need to create incentives for people to come here as businesses, and we need to have loans that are not so much matching loans, but loans that can start businesses right away through grants.
We have to stop paying people to stay home. Right now, we've gone from 65% down to 58.8%. And these people are staying home.
The candidates were asked about a wide variety of other topics, ranging from an expansion of rail service to what they would do to help areas that have detected PFAS, also known as forever chemicals. When asked how they would help ease healthcare shortages and stabilize the healthcare system, the 2 candidates did find some common ground.
I would also repeal the COVID vaccine mandate, so that we can get all those people who stopped and quit and were forced out of work to get back to work. That's one of the biggest reasons why we have such a health care shortage in this state.
Everyone that was fired by the mandate should be rehired immediately, period. We have group homes. We've lost 30 group homes. We've lost 8 nursing homes. Hospitals are absolutely full of people.
Governor Janet Mills is also running for the office again, but did not attend the forum. And we returned to summer today.
Yeah, we did. It felt like that out there. Just some really comfortable temperatures out there, so really nothing to complain about outside.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. It's just kind of funny. You know, we were enjoying those nice brisk temperatures, and then just a little trickle, final stretch of heat, and then more than likely we're in for it.
Yeah, and that's Maine for you. This time of year, you really never know what to expect.
You always get that last resurgence. So everybody who was already missing the summer temperatures, well, today was your day. And as far as what's coming our way, well, let's take a first look at our forecast.
Thank you so much. And our first weather is brought to you by Scott's Recreation, locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, so it was a chilly start to the day. Had to bring out the jackets. That's how chilly it was. Temperatures slightly below freezing here in Bangor. A little bit warmer by the coast. Of course, that warmer water is keeping it slightly above freezing, but overall, temperatures in the 30s across the state. So lock up those windows. Cooler air has arrived. But look what happened later on. 60s and 70s, so a really nice rebound in temperatures. 70 degrees earlier in Bangor, 60s by the coast. Same thing up north. Everybody was in on the nicer weather. You know, it is fall, so of course, waking up, it's going to be a little bit chilly, but today was really nice. Right now, we do have some partly to mostly cloudy skies across the state, but take a look just up north. Couple of sprinkles are starting to show up right now. This is very light, but this is the beginning of what is to come. Overnight tonight, though, temperatures will be warm. They will be hovering in those upper 40s to low 50s.
Yeah, so much warmer than normal overnight temperatures. So
some of the warmest we've seen in a couple weeks for sure.
Yeah, very summer-like.
Alrighty.
Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, the owners of the Shawmut Dam submit an amended application to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission.
And a reenactment group commemorates the 85th anniversary of the Al Brady Gang shootout in downtown Bangor. We'll have those stories and much more when ABC 7 News at 6 returns.
She's been learning about the founding of our country, about rights and freedoms. Freedoms that today are under assault. Politician Bruce Poliquin supported amending the U.S. Constitution to ban abortion. He even voted for a nationwide ban. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors. He supported allowing states to outlaw abortion even in cases of rape or incest. We can't let Bruce Poliquin back in Congress.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The better way to a better window.
Renewal by Anderson.
Hi everyone, it's Troy Pearl. Prices are going up on everything, but we can help bring your energy costs down. All this month, when you buy 4 of our energy-saving windows, we'll give you a 5th for free, plus an additional $150 off your entire project. For a free in-home consultation, visit rbagreatermaine.com.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Anderson.
When it comes to finding the right health insurance for your small business, it can feel like you're the only one looking out for the well-being of your team. But when you partner with a nonprofit health insurer who not only understands your needs as a business owner, but puts your people over their profits, it allows your business to keep doing what it does best. With a team who can take comfort in knowing they're cared for, people over profits. Now that's a novel idea. Get a quote from your broker or visit healthoptions.org.
I have a great job. I get up early, head on out, and I get to work. I install solar panels. They power our homes and give me a great paycheck. When Paul LePage was governor, he opposed projects like this, putting Maine last for solar jobs in New England. He even said that climate change wasn't a threat to Maine. Look, we need more of these jobs, and that won't happen if we go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Senator Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective. Joe has always been a champion for Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci sponsored and passed the legislation that generated more than $90 million to nursing homes in Bangor and across the state that have been hit hard by the pandemic. Joe Baldacci delivered on funding to protect health care and important services for thousands of Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective, delivering results for Bangor and Herman.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. The Maine Department of Environmental Protection is offering the company that owns the Shawmut Dam an opportunity to submit an updated application, with that decision being announced today. A statement sent out from Maine DEP says it comes after Brookfield Renewable Energy very recently amended its application to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission for a new license for the dam. The statement says the amended application provides significant new information about proposed measures Brookfield would take to protect Atlantic salmon. The FERC is now gathering public comment on the new information. The public comment period closes on October 25th. DEP will then consider all the information and merits of the application. According to the statement, today's decision does not change the dam's current operation, and Governor Mills has made it clear she will not support any action in the relicensing process that would jeopardize the future of the Sappi Mill.
Well, a reenactment group is bringing one of Bangor's most historic events to life. Devin Dagnall has that story.
Public enemy number one, shot and killed on the streets of Bangor? What are you talking about? That never happened. Oh, yes, it did.
Here by my feet is the gravesite of Alfred James Brady, public enemy number one during the 1930s. His headstone is decorated with buttons and pennies to memorialize him and the last stand he and his gang took here in Bangor.
October 12th marks the 85th anniversary of the Al Brady gang shootout. According to Richard Shaw, Bangor's historian, the event only lasted 40 seconds, but it echoes through the city of Bangor's history, even to this day.
It's sort of become folded into Bangor's wild and woolly history, Prohibition, and before that, the bootlegging. The fact that something so was witnessed by so many people, including my mother, I think it's important to know that crime does not pay, and Bangor got them, not New York, not Boston or Indianapolis, where they came from.
In honor of the day, the Al Brady Reenactment Group reenacted the arrest of James Dolliver, the only member of the gang that survived the shooting on Central Street.
We came to buy a machine gun to go deer hunting. What's wrong with that? Come on, show's over here now.
The group also held a small memorial service to honor what G.P. Palmer calls the good and the bad.
Alfred James Brady, age 27, shot and killed right here on Central Street.
To mark the historic anniversary, the group also unveiled a marker at the Mount Hope Cemetery to guide future historians to the final resting place of the once notorious gangster.
A lot of people think that we're trying to glorify bad guys. The reality is just the opposite is true. In most of my things I say, Bangor beats the Brady gang, because that's really what it's about, and crime does not pay.
In Bangor, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
So interesting to hear about this historical event taking place right in the streets of Bangor. And I think, it's cool that they're harping on that message that, crime doesn't pay. Yes, we're recognizing that it happened and reenacting it, but, not encouraging any future gang
Well, and that
members.
happened during a time when crime was almost glorified, when,
Right.
the public enemy number one was almost a romanticized figure, depending on what all they had done.
Yeah.
There was a certain glitz about certain criminals back in that era. But I think no matter what, Maine is a state that honors history. So it's interesting to see that event, even that event, reenacted so that people understand, hey, when you walk down the street, things have happened.
Yeah, really cool to look back like that.
All right.
Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, the Maine Organic Farmers and Gardeners Association prepares to spread some knowledge this great Maine Apple Day.
And in sports, Maine football is coming off a big week, looking to continue their success into homecoming weekend. We'll have that story right after the break.
Mainers took Jared Golden at his word, but he just broke his promise. Golden was a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill, even though he knew reckless spending would make inflation worse and everything more expensive. What's worse? Golden and Biden hiked taxes $1 billion on those making less than $50,000. Jared Golden, independent when convenient, liberal when it mattered. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hey, how are ya? I got your order back this way. How are ya? Hey, how are you doing? Come on in, sit down.
We're your neighbor, your friend, your banker. Skowhegan Savings.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, plus save up to $1,100.
Joe Biden and Janet Mills are working together to crush Maine families with rising costs. Mills and Democrats' radical plan targeting gas and home heating fuel will raise Maine's gas tax by up to 40 cents a gallon. And Mills' new tax on food and household essentials will increase monthly grocery bills by nearly $60. End the Biden-Mills crush on Maine families. Stop Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
I've been lobster fishing for over 25 years. These out-of-state groups that are funding Jared Golden, they're hurting us here in Maine. And Jared Golden isn't doing anything to stop them. There's the Jared Golden you see on TV, and then there's the Jared Golden that votes in Congress. He's so focused on getting elected that he's lost touch with what matters here in Maine. And we need someone to fight for us. Unless he leaves his party, there's no way Jared Golden can do anything to help Maine. I don't think Jared Golden's a bad guy, but he isn't a good congressman.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Up in Orono, Maine football is gearing up for homecoming weekend and a matchup against Monmouth University. They're coming off of a 200-plus yard rushing performance, and they're looking to grab that second win in a row.
Finally got that win, that we've been searching for a while.
On Saturday, the Black Bears finally got the monkey off their backs, picking up the first win of the year on the road at Hampton University.
Our ability to respond throughout the game. I thought we did that on both sides of the ball, and got put in some situations where we really had our backs against the wall and we responded, and that's been our message, and will continue to be our message.
Also, for the first time this year, the running game came alive.
I felt good to put it out, man. I feel like I've been
We've been held on the leash. The running backs, we finally got it going and put out that W.
Our game plan was to just, follow behind our big guys and, lean on the run game a little bit because we felt like we had an advantage in the run game, and that was our game plan. We stuck to it, and it was effective.
The Black Bears had over 200 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns against a Pirates defense that hadn't allowed one before the game.
I feel like we had a great week of practice. Everybody was mentally focused and physically prepared for Hampton.
I think it gives the whole offense some confidence. Guys up front did a great job, just getting a body on body, getting guys out of the way, moving guys. So, and then I think that just helps them in the pass game.
Elijah Barnwell paced Maine with 90 yards and a score, while Freddie Brock added 46 yards and a score, while also catching a 25-yard game-winning touchdown.
I think we feed off each other perfectly, me being a bigger back, more downhill, and him being more shifty and speedy. I feel like we complement each other perfectly.
Complement each other really well. It's like we both know our roles. He's like a power back, more of a speed back, and then in each situation, when we're needed, we're going and put the work in.
And, like they've been doing all year, their goal is to build on that performance as they're back in Orono for homecoming against Monmouth this weekend.
Now just trying to keep this thing going. Always good to get the first one out of the way. A lot more work to do, some corrections to be made starting here in practice today. But, it's good to get that one off the shoulders and get this thing rolling.
All right, let's stay with some football now. We will head down to Foxborough. We are on week 3 of the Mac Jones high ankle sprain saga. The Patriots are gearing up for the Browns this upcoming weekend. Bailey Zappi has looked good, don't get me wrong, but Jones is the better quarterback, let's be honest. If anything, Zappi's performance just lets you not rush Mac back. Jones was moving around at practice again, but still limited as a participant on Wednesday. Hoyer is on the IR still. So, again, if there is no Mac, it's Zappi, and we know that. Belichick said that the rookie's performance has no impact on whether or not Mac Jones is active. And when asked if he sees any similarities between the two quarterbacks, a classic Belichick answer.
Similar, I don't know, both right-handed.
Great analysis there. Couldn't figure that one out myself. That is all the time we have for sports. Jim Montgomery's first game as a head coach with the Bruins tonight. Puck drops at 7:05. But anyways, here is your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you so much. Our main weather today is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studios in Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. All right, so a chilly start to the morning, but look what happened. Lots of yellows and oranges right up the East Coast. That means warm weather all the way up to Maine, and that's exactly what we got. Cooler start to the morning, some 30s outside, but look what happened later on. 60s and 70s later on. 70 degrees as a high today in Bangor, 65 in Bar Harbor, 62 in Rockland, and even some upper 60s, close to 70 degrees just up north. Our average high is supposed to be closer to 60 degrees, so enjoy these warm temperatures the rest of the weekend, into the weekend even. Look at Sunday, 65 degrees before a slow cool down starts to begin by beginning of next week. So really nice and enjoyable temperatures. Right now, some partly to mostly cloudy skies across the state. Some sprinkles are starting to show up just north of Bangor, but a lot more is to come. This is the calm before the storm, because all of this right over here, stretching from Canada all the way down south, it's going to continue to develop as it actually pushes up the northeast coast. So once it makes it to our state, get ready. This will be a big rainmaker, especially going in Thursday night into Friday. That's when most of that rain is going to start to pick up. It's going to get a little bit more on the intense side throughout the day on Friday. So get ready. It will be soaking outside. We're expecting maybe half an inch to an inch of rain in some locations. Look at Princeton coming in with 1.51 inches of rain estimated. So yeah, this will be a pretty big rainmaker, and because of that, We do have some watches that are in effect, some flood area watches until 8 a.m. on Saturday, and also some gale watches until 5 p.m. on Friday, as the coast will have a little bit of breezy winds outside. Right now, everyone is experiencing some breezy winds. Bangor, 12-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Bar Harbor, 10. A little bit lighter, closer to Machias, coming in at 5. But the winds will continue to pick up. So as the rain comes in, those winds will pick up. Tonight, though, will be mild. Temperatures around 48 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. But be careful, it will be foggy, especially by those morning hours tomorrow. But look what happens. Once again, a nice rebound in temperatures. We'll be hovering in those mid-60s, mostly cloudy skies, and breezy winds. So hold those hats. It will be breezy. And our extended forecast outlook does show heavy rain back by Thursday night into Friday. That's going to last throughout the day on Saturday. Temperatures, though, will be really mild into those mid-60s. And then we clear up by Sunday. And once again, more chances of showers by Monday.
So a little more rain in the forecast now than it was earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Here's hoping we can kind of maybe tap dance around it and still kind of get done what you want to get done.
Yeah, hopefully enough to enjoy our weekend as well.
Absolutely. Well, there's still more to come after the break. Stay with us.
Your representative has your back.
Who's he kidding? Jared Golden votes with Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden 83% of the time. The result? A war on the middle class, the worst inflation in 40 years, sky-high energy prices, drugs pouring over the border. And Jared Golden just voted for 87,000 new IRS agents to hassle the middle class. Jared Golden doesn't have your back. He has theirs. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Janet Mills, false attacks on abortion, trying to hide a failed record. Mills, giving taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal immigrants, driving up home heating and electric bills, even handing out crack pipes as overdoses and crimes surge. Paul LePage will bring Maine back, help lower inflation, electric bills and home heating costs, legal requirements for welfare, and a growing economy.
Let's move Maine forward.
I'm Jay Pearl from Carroll Harper & Associates, Maine's most experienced Medicare health plans agency. Every day we hear how complicated navigating the Medicare maze can be. Let us help. From enrolling in Medicare to finding the right Medicare health plan, we are your go-to agency. We represent Martins Point Generations Advantage and other Medicare health plans that meet our quality standards. There's no cost or obligation for our services, so call Carroll Harper & Associates today.
If you were hurt because of exposure to the toxic water at Camp Lejeune, Congress has made it possible for you to recover a settlement. Former Marine attorney James Beardsley wants to help you.
Call now to see if you qualify. Call 222-2222.
Janet Mills' education department was teaching kindergartners radical transgender policies. Now it's pushing a curriculum telling students they're racist if they use certain terms. All lives matter, mass incarceration, calling the police on black people, all racist. Janet Mills closed our schools and our kids fell behind. And now she's pushing her radical education agenda. No more politics in schools, no more Janet Mills. The top funder of the Maine Republican Party is the Republican Governors Association.
Tonight, a severe flu season, a possible new COVID variant, the hospitals bracing for a winter of viruses. Plus, Russia's deadly strikes in Ukraine, a global backlash. More Americans turn to world news tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast on all of television.
Welcome back. Have you ever wondered what type of apples grow in the trees around your home? Well, this weekend we'll bring a chance to solve that mystery as people celebrate Great Maine Apple Day in unity. Craig Colson has more.
This is an exciting time of year for the Maine Organic Farmers and Gardeners Association. They're preparing to welcome people to the Maine Heritage Orchard for a fun and educational event.
October is a really sort of special time of year where
there's like this short window before the freeze comes, and there's an abundance of food all around us.
The Great Maine Apple Day celebration will get underway Sunday and will include guided tours, cider pressing, and special panels where people can learn about growing fruit here in Maine, including grapes and pears. This particular pear is known as Louise.
And it was traditionally grown in Maine in the 19th century. And so we've been each year planting a few more pears that were traditionally grown in Maine.
MOFGA workers are now busy getting ready for the free event, making sure only the best apples will be ready for tasting.
This Sunday will also be a great opportunity for people who have trees in their own yards. If you have any apples around there or pears that you want to have identified, simply bring them here this weekend, and the experts will do the rest.
I'd bring, like 8 or 10 apples that are representative of the variety.
Along with bringing in apple samples, people are also asked to bring in photos of the tree and its trunk. They also want to know about the tree's history. If it turns out to be an unknown variety, you'll have a chance to name it whatever you wish. In Unity, this is Craig Colson reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
What are you going to do now? Pick out the good one?
Wow. So
That's interesting. They'll actually identify the apples from your property if you don't know what they are.
yeah, I love that.
That's so cool.
If it's a new one, too, that's all yours to name.
It's all you. Time to be a pioneer.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty, folks, well, that's going to do it for us. Take care and have a great night.
Good night.